Right, good morning Year 6. So here is your mixed maths to start off with. We've got a fractions question, a subtraction, then we've got another fractions question with which symbol do we need to put in there, the greater than, less than or equal to. Then we have a BIDMAS question, and the number 4 is which one is larger, 7/10 or 7%. So if you could pause the video there, have a go at working out those 4 questions, and then I'll tell you how you should have solved them. Okay, so if we look at number 1, 8/10 subtract 2/5. Now, just like we've talked about previously, if you have an addition or a subtraction with a fraction, you can only do that operation if the denominators are the same. And we can see here that 10 and 5 are different, so we need to make those denominators the same. So we're looking for the lowest common denominator, the lowest number that both 5 and 10 go into. So if we think about our 5 times tables, we have 5, 10, 5 goes into 10, and I've already got 10, so we need to change the 5 into 10. What do we need to do to 5? Turn it into 10, we times it by 2. So we need to do the same to the numerator. 2 times 2 is 4. Then we've got the 5 times 2, which is 10. It's a subtraction. This fraction will stay the same. After the denominator was 10 already. And now we can do the subtraction. 8 take away 4 is 4. Denominator stays the same as 10. Some of you will have spotted as well that could be simplified as well, down to 2/5. Either of those answers are correct. Moving on to number 2, we're going to compare these two fractions, seeing which one is larger than the other. Now again, the denominators are different, so we can't compare them with any degree of accuracy. So what we need to do is we need to change the denominators again so they are the same. So we're going to turn these fractions into equivalent fractions but with the same denominator, so we can easily compare them by looking which one has a larger numerator. So we're looking for a number that goes in the 8 times tables and the 6 times tables. Now we've talked before, you can multiply these two together. That would always get you to a denominator. In this case it gets you to 48. However, there is a smaller number that is in both the 8 and the 6 times tables. So let's have a look. We've got 8, 16, 24. Think about 6 times tables as well. 6, 12, 18, 24. So 24 is the lowest common denominator here. So what do we need to do to 8 to turn it into 24? We times it by 3. So we need to do the same to the numerator. So that will be 9 over 24. We have to times 6 by 4, so we need to do the same to the numerator. 2 times 4 is 8. And we know that is 24. And now we can see the denominator is the same. Now we can compare the numerators to see which one is larger. We can see that 9 is larger than 8, so this is the larger fraction. So which symbol are we going to put in? It's certainly not the equal symbol, because they're not equal to each other, because this one is larger. It's which symbol? It's going to be this symbol here, pointing there. Remembering that the larger number points towards the smaller number. So this is the correct symbol for this one. Looking on to number 3 now, a BIDMAS question. Remember, we go through BIDMAS, we start, see if there are any brackets. There are brackets in here, so we look at the brackets. Look within the brackets, you can do BIDMAS again. There are some indices, so we solve the indices before we look at the subtraction. So 7 squared, it's not 7 times 2, remember, it's 7 times by itself. 7 times 7 is 49. Then we can do the next bit. 49 subtract 9 is 40. So that's the brackets. Now we can look at the indices here. 2 cubed. Now remember, this is 2 times 2 times by 2. This is not 2 times 3. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Then we've still got the addition to do here. That's dropped down. Then we've got 40, add 8. Gets us to 48. That's the answer there. Looking at number 4, which one is larger? We've got a fraction, 7/10, and a percentage, 7%. Which one of these is larger? Lots of people initially might be tricked into thinking they're equal because the numerator here is 7 and the percentage here is 7. However, that would be incorrect. Remembering that percentage is measured out of 100. So we can compare by turning this fraction into the denominator of 100. So what do I need to do to this 10 to turn it into 100? I have to times it by 10. So I need to do the same to the numerator. 7 times by 10 is 70. 10 times 10 is 100. And then we can, if we were ours, then to convert this into a percentage, it'd be 70%. You see, 70% is far bigger than 7%. It's 10 times bigger. So we can see that 7/10 is far bigger than 7% there. Okay, then year 6, what we are going to do now, will start our maths lesson.